Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Speaking Tangent podcast. I am Orion and with me here today is...
Philip, which is just checking his microphone all of a sudden because I'm a freaking pro. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, this is unscripted and I'm prepared like every single time, so it's okay.
Plus is episode number 10 and it's kind of the end of a season of sorts.
Cool.
We're both going on vacations after this one. And so I guess see you guys when we see you. What can I say?
Not much. Any
Not
plans?
much. I mean, yes, we're going to... I just muted the music for the ending because we never know when we'll end. We're going tomorrow to Budapest.
Nice.
And hope this time to be able to visit it because last time we got like so late there that it was like already...
Yeah.
We were really tired or... there were like many roads closed in Austria, so we had to take all kinds of roundabouts and not even roundabouts, but like detours, exactly. And also like the entire Hungary was repairing and whatever their roads, so it was really...
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, and by the time we got to Budapest, I was already fried. I mean, my kids really ground my gears. So it was like, okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was already out of it, so we went to eat something and straight to sleep.
To bed, yeah.
But yeah, that's the plan. And then on Sunday we arrive somewhere near Sibiu or Hermannstadt, how it's called in here in Germany. And yeah, we'll see our in-laws, and it will be a fun day.
Nice. So you're going to be gone...
fun 2 weeks, actually.
2 weeks, nice, yeah. Cool. That sounds pretty good. So...
How about you?
We're going to go visit my brother for a few days.
Okay. Here in Germany, or?
No, he's living in the Netherlands now.
Netherlands, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
He recently got married, and the missus is from there.
Okay.
And
as they would say, look,
yeah.
Which means like cool.
Cool. And yeah, they decided they'll move there. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And where, or if you want to say, I mean,
I'm not sure if he's okay with me telling the internet.
Then, no, it's all right. I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed Netherlands when I visited.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I actually liked, I think the most, Maastricht.
Mm-hmm.
It was really something else.
It's pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. And they have lots of coffee roasteries.
Mm-hmm.
So that was quite
interesting, yeah.
Quite interesting.
Not what you think first of when you think of Netherlands.
No, but... And also the coffee was really good there.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? I remember lots of bridges. There's a river that crosses through Maastricht and snakes through to the entire city. So, yeah. And also like Amsterdam, but... There are way too many tourists. I mean, we were insane. 2 of them, me and my wife, but really, it was like...
Damn tourists.
No, but I kind of understand, the locals like having enough.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of like that.
Yeah. It gets a lot. People kind of forget their manners sometimes when they're on vacation and somewhere else.
And they forget that they are guests in someone else's city and someone else's country. So.
And I think sometimes... cultures are so different that people also might not even be aware that they're,
annoying
or whatever.
I mean, I saw some Brits being on a historical building and someone was like really, shouting at them from the second story. And they would just laughing because they were like messed up.
Yeah.
And this another... how is it called? A thing that everyone says, but is not necessarily true. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways.
Try another language.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind right now. You know how Americans are really loud?
Yeah.
And people say that they are talking. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. You can spot them everywhere.
They're in the room.
they're everywhere and they're screaming at you, and they're telling like really personal, private stuff out very loud, which is like really. I don't know. In many cultures, this is a no thing. You know, you don't. I mean, I'm originally Romanian,
They're
right?
super open about many things.
And I mean, we're a weird bunch because we're kind of very friendly, and you know, we get like super chappy with everyone. And some of us are so open that, you know, 5 or 10 minutes in a more or less private discussion, you might find out some very spicy things all of a sudden, right? So were my parents and some other people I know from their boomer generation. But I think like kind of from my generation also, Gen X and Xennials and whatever, we kind of gotten like a bit more, you know, my private stuff is my private stuff. I won't tell everything to everyone. But yeah, I mean, even though I have some American friends, I wouldn't say many. I almost said many, but then I was like, yeah, but I can count them on the fingers of one hand, so there's not that many. Yeah, some of them are kind of too loud. So yeah.
Shout out, Grüße gehen raus, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love you guys, but sometimes, you know, you could just tone it down a bit and just adapt it and adapt yourselves to the place. But yeah, I mean, Amsterdam is nice. Going back to Rotterdam, we just passed, like really fast rate. We never truly visited it, and yeah, it's a pity. We got to Hague, I think. No, we never got to Hague, but we got to Brussels in Belgium, and anyways, I'm jumping from tangent to tangent, but we were talking. So we were in Brussels, and we talked with someone that was actually living in Hague. That's why I got confused. But yeah, Brussels is also very nice, but it's kind of funny. So you're in the main square, which looks a bit like the Marienplatz in Munich. It has kind of the same architecture, I would say. Yeah. And then you go on a side street, and it gets a bit, let's say, dodgy and fast. Yeah, at some point. So I'm no snowflake. So I grew up in Vitan in Bucharest, which for anyone who knows, Vitan was one of those. Let's say we had the special police, the guys that are wearing masks every day over there. So yeah, we had all the brothels and all the heroin dealers.
So it was a super secure area, right?
In a way, right? Yeah. But so I'm no stranger to bizarre neighborhoods, but it was, I mean, the contrast was a bit too much for me, right? So from, you know, you could hear like Bach going in the background to something that was kind of like, okay, let's get the camera out of sight and put your phone back in your...
Yeah,
you know, it was
and
like,
get out of here, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. But yeah, other than this, I don't know. You say something about Netherlands.
Yeah, not much to say. So he just moved there.
Okay.
They just got married in July.
Oh, nice.
And they're just back from the honeymoon and just moved there basically. And this is the first family vacation we're gonna do, like all four. And that kind of, from the timeline here just fit. So we decided we're gonna go there.
Oh, very nice.
We don't have a fixed like time just yet. We're gonna do somewhere between 3 to 5 days, depending on how the kids feel and how it's gonna go.
Okay, very nice.
So it's not decided 100% yet, but we're most likely gonna drive evening overnight.
Okay.
It's like 6.5 hours, something like that.
Okay,
so
not that far away?
Not too far. Yeah. I can drive that in one go. But here's the catch: I have little kids, and if we drive that route during the day, first it's gonna be hot. Second, you will have to stop every 2 hours just get
pee
out of the
breaks
car,
and
pee
everything,
and
yeah.
stuff.
I know.
And if we drive through the evening or the night, I'll take one break to get the dog out a little bit and walk and pee.
Oh.
And then get back in the car and just finish the tour, so to speak.
Right.
And that's the plan right now. And then, as I said, like 3 to 5 days, we'll check out the area around where they live. Because I haven't been to that specific area of the Netherlands just yet.
Okay.
Or we. And then, we'll see. Maybe we'll drive towards the ocean a little bit. What we also still haven't decided, we might, on the way back, take a little detour and visit Aachen.
Okay.
I used to study there for 2 years.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, engineering, right?
Yeah, exactly. Been there, done that,
Yeah. Me
So-
too. Not in Aachen, in Bucharest. But
in
yeah.
Bucharest, but yeah. I've not become a mechanical engineer.
Me
I
neither.
went the software engineering
aeronautical
route.
engineer. So yeah.
But yeah, that also depends if my friends are available. That's the rough plan.
Okay.
And then the second week we'll be home, mostly just, chilling and
Nice.
just resting and relaxing. And
Okay.
yeah,
That
that's
sounds
the
like a plan. But you
Yeah.
said to see the ocean? Do you mean like the Atlantic or what?
Yeah, maybe.
That's far away
I
in
know,
Netherlands.
I know.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Cool. I mean, I enjoyed both Belgium and Netherlands when it was just the two of us. We weren't having kids at the time, or even thinking about kids.
Yeah.
But I remember, so I was in Belgium, and from Belgium in Bucharest we have this chain store that's called Mega Image. It's called Proxy in Belgium. And imagine it's kind of like a Rewe or like an Edeka here in Germany. So
Okay.
yeah, it's more of, a bit more. So it's not a cheaper store, and they have like other kind of brands and other kind of brands plus their own. But the selection of beers was just bonkers. So I've never seen as many different beers in my life. So I was buying like every night, every night, other 5 brands and other 5 types of beer.
Yeah.
I've even tried one of those like fruity ones, like with banana flavor or like straw. It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's like
it sounds
just
terrible.
horrible. Yeah, trust me. Like just don't. Also, don't try like the Delirium Tremens one. There's one.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Trust me. It has a pink elephant on the label, or it had. Maybe it still has. It's still working. It's still fermenting in the bottle, so you'll get messed up, like blackouts,
wow.
blackout drunk. Like you won't
No,
remember.
I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in my 20s, I was like, yeah,
give me that.
No. So,
I know. I just recently found a few actual like non-alcoholic, so 0.0 alcohol beers. And I'll stick to that because I really like especially the Helles that we have here in Bavaria.
Yes.
I just don't like to drink too much alcohol. But for the longest time, these truly non-alcoholic, because alcoholfrei, so non-alcoholic in Germany means they still have up to 0.5% alcohol. And these like 0.0 alcohol beers, they actually have no alcohol whatsoever. And for the longest time, they tasted like garbage.
Yes.
And
Like
now,
carrot juice.
yeah, and now like many even of the well-known brands like Augustina or Chiemsee and so on, and Erdinger, for example, they have truly non-alcoholic beers that actually taste pretty good.
Yeah. They refined the recipe, seems like. So yeah.
So I'll stick to that and just no pink elephants.
No. That's why. But I remember one night. So we were living in this very nice apartment. I mean, we rented it, of course. It was on the Van Hallen Street. I was like, man, of course. And so I got that evening. I got the, let's say, the strongest selection of beers there was none under 10% alcohol. And I had the first. I felt like, oh, this beer is a bit spiky, right? So I was like, okay. Then the next one was even worse. The third one, I think, it was already cloudy, very cloudy in my head. That was like 13% alcohol.
Wow.
And it was very dark and kind of sweet.
Yeah.
So that was like not good. I don't know why I got to beer number 5, but I did. And the thing is, that bathroom had like steps, like 3 steps going down. Yeah, let's say I got very fast in the bathroom.
You took the straight way down.
Oh, yeah. I hugged the toilet, not for needing to hug the toilet, but for not wanting to break my teeth. Right. Yeah, so don't mix up strong alcoholic beers because they don't go together with your brain and liver very well. But, I mean, very interesting tastes, I would say, for their beers. They are like truly unique from one brewery to another. While I presume because of the law of purity here in Germany, the Reinheitsgebot, they are more or less in the ballpark. I mean, the differences are more subtle.
Nuances.
Most of them are very good beers here, if not very, very good beers. Yeah. Some better than other. I mean, it's more like what I like versus what you like or what someone else likes. For example, I like more the wheat beer, the Weizenbier.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really like that one. I kind of
that's a fair assessment. Right. Yeah.
I also, for example, one of my colleagues, she really loves Keller beer.
Oh yeah, nice.
Keller beer is good, but I feel like if I get to the second one, I will get very drunk and fast.
They punch you pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a Keller beer, and by now I can assess, this one is one of those beers that will get you like bad. So,
one is enough.
Exactly,
usually.
Kind of like with Weizenbier, like white beer or wheat beer. In Romania, we call them white beers for some reason. So
we say also like eine Weiße.
Yeah. Some of you guys, some other guys, they call them like
whatever.
Oh man, there was this guy like from deep down in Bavaria, and he wanted a Weizenbier, and he said something that I cannot even Wurze or something.
Watson,
yeah. I was like,
what the fuck, dude?
A what? And he kept on. I mean, his German was like unintelligible.
Yeah.
And fortunately, one of my colleagues, she's coming from deep south, and she was like, she went with his dialect. All of a sudden, I was like, okay.
Well, who are you?
But so man, episode number 10.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's even crazier because we never truly presented ourselves or said why we kind of started this thing, so we kind of just went with it. But how about you go? I mean, you did the promo, you did the intro, so please.
Cool. So this was a Schnapsidee, as we would say in Germany. As we mentioned a few times, we work together. That's where we know each other from.
Yeah, a long time ago.
It's quite a while back now.
Yeah.
And we got along just really well. And the relationship expanded into the private life as well. And
it's very platonic, very we're just friends, right?
Yeah. That happens if you don't think about these things and just talk.
Yeah.
We kind of got along pretty well. We have both this tendency of actually over-explaining things, I can literally hear my wife roll with her eyes right now.
Yeah. Mine too.
We like similar things, especially when it comes to like this philosophical and linguistics and history and all these things. And so we kept talking, and at some point we started like exchanging these voice messages because, you get kids and work and you need to be places and you need to do things. So it's kind of actually really helpful. And these messages, they tend to escalate in length because both of us like to go on multiple tangents. And
hence
at some point,
the name of this thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And at some point, Phil was like, "Dude, we're recording this anyway. Why don't we just sit in front of a microphone and upload it somewhere?" Like,
Yeah.
okay, when do we start? What do we do on Friday? Okay, let's go.
Exactly
And
like
that's how
that.
this
It was
happens.
exactly like that. So no exaggeration here. Yeah, it was kind of. So, would you care to explain the Schnapsidee, what it means?
Oh, yeah.
For the non-German
For
speakers.
the non-Germans, that's actually a great point.
Yeah.
So Schnaps is like strong alcohol, spirits.
More or less like vodka, right? Like
Yeah, vodka,
40 or a bit
exactly,
more,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Like all the Obstbrand thingies and whiskeys,
It's like-
and all
like-
of that is Schnaps.
Yeah, fruit alcohol basically. Yeah.
So what you would call spirits, basically.
Yeah,
That's what we call Schnaps. Also a classic corn. Don't do that. And Schnapsidee is basically a word to say it's a really stupid idea because it's born out of us like drinking spirits. That's why we call it Schnapsidee, like a high alcohol idea. And that's what it was, right? Oh, let's do this. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're actually doing this.
Yeah.
Wait, this is episode 10. What happened? How did that go?
Exactly, right?
Yeah, I remember my wife reacting with laughing like wildly, like, you want to have conversations for longer with people? Really? That's what you're going to do?
It's more like a dialogue, so it's
Exactly.
not a big conversation with lots of people, but you could leave us like comments and messages and stuff, so
Yeah.
we will read them and reply. We
Because
promise.
I tend to be more of a, I have a word limit, another word flat rate a day.
Right.
And I'm totally fine just not talking for days and, staring at the wall and so on.
Yep.
So that was actually one of the toughest things I had to change and learn to make my relationship work, actually. Because I could be like, yeah, I'm okay. I can just sit in the corner like with my then girlfriend, now wife, and enjoy the company and just be fine. But that's not how relationships work, But yeah, so that's how we're here now, and we're recording stuff.
Nice. Yeah,
that comes out of our mouths now.
Exactly, that's how it happened. It was one of those like, how about we make this a podcast? How about we? I mean, I have all the equipment. Anyways, here now we have this fancy podcast microphone arms, which makes our lives, way easier.
Professionals.
I mean,
It's cool. It's really cool.
it's really cool, right?
Yeah.
You can adjust the microphone and it stays, and you don't
stays,
have
yeah.
to lean over or whatever. But one thing, so for someone who never met you in real life, how would you describe yourself in whatever dimension of a nutshell you want?
Wow, that's a tough one.
I know.
I need to think about it. I mean, that's tough.
I know, but I mean, just
Sheesh.
brief, like not quite an elevator pitch, but something that, how would you like people to think about you or to remember you or to, like, this is Orion, okay.
All right, so I am very focused, and what's really important for me is freedom of mind, freedom of speaking, said mind, and the freedom to how can I say that? The freedom to live my life as I see fit, and with everything that comes with that, and also really important, something I learned over the last 10 years, the freedom to take on responsibilities that I choose. So be it the responsibility for myself and how I actually want to live my life, or for a relationship, or for children, or for our dog, or whatever. So the freedom to choose the responsibilities I want to take on. That's really important to me. And for me, it's also really important to to live and let live. So to try and accept people and meet them where they are, because none of us are perfect. And yeah, I am also a nerd at heart. I like numbers. I like maths. I like physics. I mean, I'm a programmer. Like I'm a tinkerer at heart, and I also love nature. I could spend my life in the woods and in the mountains. I'm less of an ocean guy actually, and less of an island guy. Woods and forests and mountains. That's me, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So how about you?
How about me? Yes. It is a tough one, right?
Yeah.
So I'm first and foremost, I'm a musician. I have to say that my entire life has been defined and continues to be defined by music. I started by being a listener and a lover of good music, driven by my father's passion actually for 60s, 70s, and 80s, all kinds of rock and progressive and psychedelic. And I'm also very curious, a very curious kind of. I was always the annoying kid that was asking why again and again and again, up until like the parents had enough. The teachers had enough. Everyone had enough.
Hi, mom. Sorry, mom.
Yeah.
Not so sorry, mom.
Yeah, exactly. And I was sent outside quite often. So yeah. What else? I'm also a nerd. I love history. I love linguistics, semantics. I love finding all kind of, or learning about all kind of interesting origins of words. For example, you talked about alcohol, and that's an Arabic word, and actually the word is called because the al is the definite article, and it's kind of like, and you'll find it in algebra and alchemy, and all kind of an algorithm.
Or even in names.
Yes, yeah. And it's quite funny that sometimes even like very nationalistic or right-leaning people use stuff that they don't even know it's coming from the enemy's sides from their point of view. So yeah, that's so in as small of a nutshell I can, because I'm talking actually way too much.
Well, this is what this podcast is about. So.
Yeah. But it kind of features a bit more me than you, and I'll try to dumb it down, or not to keep it down, not to dumb it down.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm a curious guy, driven by music, driven by a curiosity for philosophy and for dissecting things. Language doesn't work for me. English just exited the chat. And yeah, I love all kind of correlations between languages and all kind of origin stories, and also demystifying all kind of pseudo religious, pseudo spiritual bullcrap.
Yeah.
So that's me in it's not quite a nut. No, well, it's a bit like okay. A coconut more.
Well, that's you. That's why this works. So yeah. That's pretty.
So yeah, we got to 10, right? And I know also about you, but I forgot. You told me like you had a number that you love, you like. But for example, 10 for me and in my culture, for you in school, 10 is the highest grade you can obtain in Romania.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, we have a system of 1 to 10. In primary school, you can get the worst grade you can get. It's a 4, which is just below 5. I mean, here is kind of similar to the German system, because 5 you kind of passed, but you're kind of like on the borderline. So you
but only if you have 1 in your diploma. If you got 2 5s in your diploma, you fail the year.
And but then when you grow up and you get to high school, you can get 1. I mean, 1 is basically you get 1 just for showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not the one like in the German system, which is like the highest grade. Yeah. It's just being there, existing.
Although that changes.
Really?
Yeah. So elementary school, I think they start grades in grade 2 now, I think. It used to be grade 3.
Yes, in the 3rd grade. Even though they weren't, doing anything. They were more like for
getting used to things.
Yeah. In the 4th grade,
in the 4th, it's really
matter.
important, because those decide which follow-up school you can visit or go to. And
which
that's
is the big stress, actually.
Yeah, oh my God. It's insane. It's much worse than it used to be in my day, actually.
I've been through it twice, and I can say, hand on heart, is really a bitch. And
not looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Also for the parents, but for the kids, it's such an useless stress. But it is what it is.
So, and that's like all the system, like 1 to 6. So 6 is the worst. As you said, you write your name on the paper. That's what you get the 6 basically for, and 1 is like the best mark you can get. And that goes on until you reach what we call Kollegstufe. So for the 8-year version of the gymnasium, it's years 11 and 12.
Okay.
And
now it's even a 13th grade, even for gymnasium nowadays.
Yeah, because they went back to we call it G9, so Gymnasium 9 years. Mm. That's what I did. Oh, okay. I was the last...
oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I was the last class that did that. And then in the same year, we had 2 classes doing Abitur.
Okay.
Us as the last G9. And then we had the first guys doing G8. And now, I'm not even sure. I think it's even optional. You can choose.
No.
It's like fully G9 again. Yeah, I'm out of it for a while now.
I know because my older son, my eldest, he just he's 8th grade now, and
that's good. So yeah,
we still have.
I think it's better.
5 years.
Honestly, the 1 year I had, I needed it personally to mature at least a little bit and so on, and also kind of at least know what I want, because I was interested in everything, and then I wanted to do medicine at some point. So it helped me personally. So I think many would profit from that. So 12
especially boys, I would say.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So 12th and 13th grade now, and the secondary way, we call it the zweiter Schulweg, right? For those, it's similar as well. So if you go to Forst, Boss, and so on, there the system changes. So it's not 1 to 6 now. It's between 0 and 15.
Oh.
So
which one is the highest? 15?
The highest is 15.
Oh.
So you get a 1. What used to be 1 is 15, 14, 13. So 15 1 plus. 14 is regular 1. And then the 13 is 1 minus, just barely a 1, so to speak.
Okay.
And so it goes down to, and if you just come over and write your name, that's a 0.
Okay.
So that changes at some point, yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
Which I think is a little better because it has more nuance.
Yeah.
At the same time, the same problems stay. So what I always was a 2 plus.
Which is like, not quite a 1 minus.
Yeah, so
right?
Give me the 1 minus.
Exactly.
Instead of giving me the 2 plus, because the 2 plus is like adding insult to injury, and the 1 minus is like, I just made it, Yeah. But that's the grading system we had.
When I was a kid, so we also had like 0.5s in between the notes.
Wow.
So, if you got that's
the plus and minus.
A 7.5, it would get rounded up to 8.
Oh, nice.
Which would be like a 2 minus, right? Or something like that here. But there were some asshole teachers that would give you a 7.49, which would be like 0.01 under.
Fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, the pluses and the minuses would also decide if you would be in the middle, like if it was a 0.5 in the end, because you have written tests that count twice, you have written tests that just count once.
Right.
And you have like all these, we call them mündliche Noten. So you either get pulled in front of the class and asked about the last lesson or whatever. Those get calculated together, and sometimes you get a 0.5 value.
Right. Yeah, I know.
And there, if you have more pluses than minuses, you would get the better grade, for example.
Right. Yeah, but going back to numbers, so number 10, which is a multiple of my favorite number, which is 5. And why is my number 5 my favorite number? I don't know. It was like since forever. I remember I was a kid and I just loved everything that had a 5 in it.
Interesting.
I presume it had something to do with maths, because anything like divisible by 5 was quite overtly. I mean, you could see like 125. Yeah, I know this one. I know this one. Everything that ended in 5. Yep. I know it's a multiple
or
of
in a 0.
Exactly. So maybe that, but I remember it was preschool. And I just loved it. And then I had one of those, like that movie, National Treasure, which is kind of like more for kids. I'm watching it with my eldest because he's into mysteries and kind of dramas and stuff. And I had one of those moments when I learned about colors. And then I learned that blue is the 5th color in the spectrum of like primaries and secondary color. And I was like, oh, there's something here. It's like I've been chosen. My favorite number, my favorite color, like is the 5th and 5, and there's the blue and
Deus vult.
Exactly. That's it. I had one of those moments, and yeah, I mean, for example, a thing I do with 5. Always the title track of the album, of any album I produce, is song number 5. Always. I'm doing that. And you can imagine which song will be for my next album, which is entitled Chasing Flames. Which one could it be? Yeah, maybe number 4. No.
+1.
Exactly. And yeah, how about you? Tell me about your favorite number, because I know you have one and I forgot it.
Yeah, I actually have 2, the 3 and the 7. Always like these 2.
All right.
And they also do fun combinations.
And also primary numbers.
Primary, of course. I mean,
mine too.
Obviously,
right?
obviously.
It's, what is it, like a 1, 2, 3? It's the 4th primary number. It's not the 5th. God damn it.
So the funny thing about 3 and 7, and Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory put it perfectly.
Right.
If you put them together, you get the number 37.
Right.
It's the 12th prime number.
Okay.
If you multiply 3 and 7, you get 21. So you take the 12 and turn it around. Right?
Interesting.
So
okay,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Right? I just like the 3 and the 7. I can't even say why. They just feel right in my brain.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much. That's why I also like the number pi, because it's a 3 point something.
Yeah. I mean, pi, it's interesting. Quite interesting.
Yeah, so when I'm distracted and thinking, I sometimes doodle. And oftentimes I draw, I don't know why, I draw sine and cosine waves.
Okay.
It's just like that. And they are directly correlated to the number pi, so to 3 basically. And that just feels right.
Okay.
It's just that thing in my head, so yeah.
We just lost all our with this number.
Hold on. I said I'm a nerd.
Yeah. No. To our collective defense, we are both nerds.
Yeah.
No. I was just visualizing those sines and cosines. So just before we started this, I was showing you that song I'm working on, and for example, if you want to cancel a track, yeah, of course you can mute it, but you can, if you want to do something very clever, you can invert the sine wave. So you'll get a perfect mirror, let's say, but everything will be like like 180 degrees turned around on its head, and when you play both of them together, you'll get nothing.
Yeah, they'll zero out.
Yeah, because
Nice.
everything that was once plus, it's
it collapses into a flat line.
Exactly,
Nice.
exactly. So, for example, if you want to isolate the vocals in a track, and it's a stereo track, you just separate the tracks into two monos, and then you flip the polarity of one of them, put them together, because everything that's on the sides will cancel out but the vocals. Or, wait, maybe I explained it the wrong way, but you have to get, like, the vocals are always in the middle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no panning. So the vocals you'll get in the middle, and when you'll subtract more than reverse polarity, because if you reverse polarity, you'll always also kill the vocals.
Yeah.
But if you, anyways, I'll check this again, and I'll come back to you with an actual scientific explanation. But
Also, all the music nerds,
yeah,
just put it in the comments.
Exactly, like, no, he's wrong. How can
He loves being corrected.
Anyway, so please correct me, because I cannot truly remember how, because I used to do that. So we needed either to get rid of the vocals. I think we were doing exactly that. So we were flipping it just to get rid of the vocals, because everything else was panned left and right. And then only the vocals would get cancelled, kind of to get like backing tracks of certain songs. You could still hear like a ghostly voice somewhere, because that was the reverb.
Okay.
And the reverb was never the same left to right, so it wouldn't get affected. But yeah, it was the other way around. So just to remove the vocals. But yeah, numbers. It's kind of interesting, or very interesting. For example, in music, you have kind of everything adds up to 9 in a way. So
to 9.
9, yeah.
How does that work if everything is divisible by 2?
Yeah, it's different. It's different with intervals, because you have 7 notes in a scale. In a 7-note scale, you have 7 notes, because there are 6-note scales and 5-note scales. It's a and 8-note scales. But let's take the classic theory of music. So you have 7-note scales. So the 8th one will be the one it started the entire story, but 1 octave higher.
The octave, yeah.
So you have, if you assign a number to all of them, you'll have 1 to 7 different notes, and 8. 1 plus 8, because this one is the other one over an octave, right? It's 1 plus 8 is 9. Then you have the second. So if you have like a major second, if you flip it around, you'll get a minor 7th. If you have a minor second, you flip it around, you get a major 7th, and so on and so forth. And everything gets added up to...
It's always a 9, yeah.
Yeah. Which, when I got this,
3.
I was like, that's cool. Okay.
But also confusing as hell. But cool.
It is a bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, you know. I also remember, like, from school, at some point, I think we had... It wasn't even like a teacher. Teacher was someone who was replacing one of our teachers and came just for a couple of lessons. And he was like, okay, so maths is boring, right? Okay, let me show you a thing that's like super cool. Everyone was like, yeah, right.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So let's take natural numbers and let's multiply.
So natural numbers 1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3,
4.
exactly. Yeah. Sorry, for the non-nerds. And let's multiply 9 to everything up to 9. Okay, 9 times 1, 9. Wow, revelation. 9 times 2, 18. 1 plus
Put them
8.
together.
Okay. 9 times 3, 27. Wait a second. And
Yeah, that's cool.
this works with every one of them up to 9 squared, basically. It's like 81, then
Yeah.
you get also 9. Then it doesn't work anymore. But I was like,
Well, it works if you do 9 times 10, it's 90, so it's still a 9.
still, like 9 times 1, 9, still 9, yeah.
And
But
then 9 times 11 is 99, so that's 18, that's 9 again.
yeah. Maybe it works actually, but like not as obvious as for,
You have to do it twice then.
So everyone was like, wow,
Nice.
we discovered something here, right? So I think, now I'm teaching music and guitar again after many, many years. And I'm trying to include this sort of snippets in my teaching too. Of course, it's not working always. Sometimes I'm getting lost in, like communication. I'm mostly teaching in German, so sometimes I kind of getting, like my lexicon kind of gets crunched all of a sudden. And I was like, okay, this is like this in English. I don't remember how it was, or I never even known.
The bane of speaking more than one language.
Yeah, sometimes, and plus, when you teach something very specialized, even if you read, about that particular thing in that particular language at some point, it might not be there.
For the moment you need it. Yeah,
exactly. So, I'm trying to include this sort of moments. Like we do, like I don't know. Something cool, something fun, what if you play these two strings together and they discover that it's whatever, like AC/DC song or anything like that, and it's super fun for everyone when they discover like Smoke on the Water and how kind of easy it is to play that riff, which sounds freaking amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And all kind of other stuff, but I cannot say it always works, but when it works, it's just such a pleasure.
Chef's kiss,
Yeah, exactly. To be there and to see that other person's like light bulb going off, like yes.
Yeah, you can hear it click.
Yeah. I just showed to one of my more advanced students. I showed them some. So we did. Today was the last lesson of the school year, right? And I almost said Schuljahr.
I could hear it.
German, yes, exactly. It's coming now more and more. And I said, okay, I need to do something else, something different. So I kind of did, for the time being, I'm teaching like Tuesdays and Fridays. And with all my students on Tuesday, I did that too, like a jam session, kind of a lesson in which in the playing was a lot of theory, underneath, but everything was sounding cool. We were playing over a backing track. Yeah. They could hear like drums, bass, and a Hammond, and even a girl's singing at some point. So it was like...
It's like smuggling vegetables into food for kids, right?
Exactly. Kind of like coating broccoli in chocolate or something, right?
Exactly.
So everyone was like having a good time, and now whenever we're playing a riff, if I say we're going from quarter notes to eighth notes and then to half notes, they're like,
nice.
Like,
they got it.
Yeah, it's second nature already. So now they know this separation in between the note durations and how to get from one to another.
Oh, that's cool.
And and somehow by accident I discovered something really cool and really fun for them. So I was like, okay, I will keep on teaching this bit because this is cool. And I also show so Friday I have kind of my more advanced guys coming, and I showed I won't say his name, but let's say he's a bit older than I am. And even though he's a rock guy, he kind of mostly studied classic guitar, so now he's kind of going back to his rock thing, right? And we're doing bits and pieces of very famous songs. So a couple of lessons ago, I taught him the Stairway to Heaven intro, which is like the intro,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
And he struggled a bit, even though it's more or less classic guitar inspired, a lot a lot like Baroque inspired, I would say. And last time we did Dead or Alive from Bon Jovi. That super particular and cool intro without a double, like a 12-string guitar, like a double six. But the focus of the lesson was like, because with that intro, you're using the shape of the D major and D minor, but you're moving it around so it's different chords. And a thing that most guitar players are doing, including me when I was younger, we're learning it geometrically. So a certain shape is a certain chord, and that was it. It's like set in stone. You cannot move.
If you see the notes, you know how your fingers have to go. Or what do you mean by...
No, when someone says to you like D major, you know exactly what chord to play. It's like in the second position. It looks kind of like a triangle, and that's it.
Okay, yeah.
And you can play, I don't know how many iterations of D major on guitar. Like, I would say at least 12, more than 12, much more. If you play all the inversions, it's like a lot.
A lot.
But just memorizing that shape, it's very good, because there's another idea, and with this I'll just wrap around the music theory and guitar theory thing, which is called the cage system. And this cage system is basically you learn the cowboy chords, the first ones you know, and then you know how to transpose every chord everywhere on the guitar neck.
Nice.
So it takes something really basic that everyone knows and, pushes it around. And I showed both of my more advanced students. They were like, oh, they had an epiphany. Like, so
Nice.
You can use this for something else? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like almost everything in life, you can repurpose things.
Exactly. And now I kind of unlocked a huge chunk of the fretboard for them. Is like, oh, so I can play like a C major here. Huh. And A minor could be played here. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And I also told them that supreme dead joke, like, why did a guitar player get to jail? He fingered A minor. Exactly. So they both laughed, and then it's a bit dark, I know, but it's still good. It's bad, but good,
Like the one meme you sent me.
Yeah, I sent you lots. I don't know.
Yeah, with the Vatican City wants to know your location. Why? I'm not a minor.
Yeah, that was savage. Like, really savage, yeah.
That was a really good one, yeah.
Yeah, so by the way, we still send to one another memes and other funny, jokes and everything that can stir a giggle every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every now and again also some ideas for this podcast, but they usually start with something and end up with something totally random. So
it's often you sent a meme or you said something. Like we talked earlier, you showed me a few things that you do while mixing and mastering. And you showed me, I called it the umami of the song.
Yeah.
Because I don't have words for music things,
Yeah.
And you showed me the difference it makes by turning it on and off in the track. And I somehow correlated it to an engineering technique that we call Finite Elemente Methode, so FEM, to calculate and analyze the different areas of stress a piece of whatever, like metal or whatever your building has. And so this is how these usually happen. We talk about music and then something like this comes up, but it explains perfectly what I was I'm feeling and thinking.
Yeah.
And that keeps happening in messages, not just in this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And what I was showing him that he called umami, and it's quite a good comparison. It's basically a parallel compression for you music nerds, exactly, and music mixing nerds. And that gives the song so much body and so much even space, and it just feels a lot of, like you said, it felt like a sphere or an orb with many holes in it, and now it was full.
It's full, yeah.
It is kind of like that, and I'll show you at some point even how it translates into a mastering session and how the tiniest thing you do right or wrong in the mixing thing will get like exponentially in your face during the mastering session. So
what's really cool about all of that is you have like a proper stereo setup. So you have 2 sets of speakers that point towards the middle of the room. And
the first third of the room, actually. Yeah.
Kind of, but like they have a center where they point towards. And as you explained, this is important for proper stereo because these sound waves and these fields, they have to overlap.
Yeah. For an actual stereo. Otherwise, it's just, like with headphones, binaural or mono.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And listening to music like that is visceral proof that you can hear and feel for sound waves being something material, even though you cannot see them, because depending on what you do, you have another perception of the space the music takes.
Right.
That's something that I find really, really interesting, because, again, as you explained in my own words, repeating it in my own words, when mastering, you push everything a little bit more together in space, and you can hear it.
Yeah.
So everything is more in the middle. It's more full. It takes. Yeah. It's narrower, but it also takes more space at the same time. And it doesn't take more space. It fills the space better.
Yes.
And that's a good way to put it, I think. And that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool way of showing, hey, these sound waves. First, they, by the way, behave like waves.
Yes.
In water.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
air is a medium, it's a fluid. So
exactly. But it's not very, it's not intuitive that it is like that.
It's
like,
not.
why would air be like water?
Exactly.
Well,
actually, planes are swimming, actually.
Pretty much, swimming, exactly.
That's why they can't take off.
And that's a really, really cool way of showing that.
Yeah. I mean, so even though this is my living room as well, and it's not super well treated, I do have some panels and some, like broadband absorption and some, how's this thing called? I even forgot the binary thing. It's a binary, this one with holes up top. It's called the binary, I forgot whatever panel. I should have had 3 oriented exactly the other way around, but the wife said 1 and that's it. So that was what I could obtain. And a divorce is way more expensive.
Yeah.
Even in this kind of room with some pretty good quality monitors, you can truly hear the differences. Yeah. I mean, these are really flat monitors, like flat studio ones, so they don't push way too much bass like some commercial ones, right, are doing, like in a non-natural way or in a unnatural way. And the other pair I have on top, those cubes, they sound like shit. And it's by design. So they are made to sound like shit because if you can mix on them and if you can hear some bass on them, they are limited to 200 hertz, so not that much bass. It's actually, I mean, look at them, their size. They cannot, right? They are the fabled, I mean, I made like a copy of the fabled Oratone. I think they're called Oratone. Man, I think I'll get murdered in the comments by some other nerds. Sorry, guys, I have a really bad memory for names. But if you know the cubes, you know the cubes, and they are made to sound like crap. And they were used by Quincy Jones a lot.
Okay, that's also super counterintuitive.
Yes, so if you can make a mix sound good on this, it will sound good on anything. I think this sort of crappy speaker, you can even use just one of them and mix in mono. So like the crappiest of the crap, because most people, they listen from their phone. And even though some phones are kind of faking a stereo thing because they do have two speakers, they're like 1 centimeter apart. So no stereo.
That's not really
maybe for
an
ant or a cockroach, that might be some stereo thing, but not for humans. And most people listen from their phones, like in mono, from the crappiest speaker you can imagine,
Yeah.
And I know there are some tricks that they've used in those tiny, super tiny speakers. They put some small spherules of polypropylene that just bounce around and basically create a fake bass effect or a lower bass effect. There's no comparison to a good pair of headphones and or some actual speakers calibrated and all that jazz. So this is their fate to sound crappy and to help you to make the best mix ever. And then when you switch to the big ones, it's like, whoa,
nice,
right?
Yeah,
it's that effect. So I also love this bit. I mean, it's kind of funny, right? I started my parents pushed me into aeronautical engineering, even though I was really not from that movie, as we say in Romanian. And I'm doing sound engineering in the end. So still engineering, but in a way more fun way, I would say. But still, pushing.
I mean, engineering
sound.
is a mindset and a way of working and being, precise and rigorous with it.
And trying also to get the best out of whatever you have at hand. So
Yeah, and I think a core part of engineering is tinkering. So going back to the traits that we would underline the most in ourselves, I think that's what made engineering a kind of obvious option, and then it wasn't the right type of engineering, let's say. But I think that's the reason why it still kind of ended up for both of us in an engineering field.
Yeah.
Because this tinkering and trying to build things from nothing or to take things and put them together in a different way and do it over and over again and make it even better and better. I think that's what makes this so fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've even, I'm also a guitar builder of sorts. I say of sorts because I've never studied it in an actual school, like I did with sound engineering. So I learned it by doing with the worst teacher, me. And
best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun. I cannot understate how fun it is to build an instrument from scratch. And there are two moments I love the most. First is when you put the finish on and everything like just blooms, like the entire timbre just all of a sudden, smiles back at you. And the second moment I love even more. I kind of get like a fever when I'm putting the strings on, because it's like getting close to getting some sound. And I have to say, like, at first, most instruments, even built by others, sound like crap. So for the first hours, days, they sound like crap because nothing is yet settled to, coalesce those sound waves and to it's still fighting itself a bit, And after maybe a week or two of playing that instrument, it's just spectacular usually, if everything went to plan, of course. But
that's the thing I like about coding, and that I miss most now that I'm doing more architectural type of work. You can build something really quickly, and the barrier to throwing it away and starting from scratch is just not there, because especially for like side projects and tinkering, it's just text. You Control A, delete, and start again. It's not the same if you build something physical like a guitar or like things my dad still builds and stuff like that. And that's what I really like about it, because you can ideate so fast. You just try something, it doesn't work like that.
And
throw it
also
away,
Control Z.
It's like that's really great. I mean, for Vim users like myself or new Vim, it's U for undo, and R. Control R for redo.
Okay.
So pretty logical, So that's something I really enjoyed about programming. I have an idea to solve a problem or something I want to build. I'll do it, and then it's good enough, cool. It's not good enough, I'll just throw it away. And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot imagine how many times I wish for a Control Z in real life
Yeah.
while working on an instrument. And when I did something like that, I would just hang my head. I was like, what am I doing now?
Yeah.
How do I explain this to the client?
You don't?
No, I had to find. I mean, man, I was working on a friend's guitar, so I built him like a brand new Telecaster copy, kind of like a Fender Telecaster, but he wanted something very specific. And I don't know, I got some really, really good news that day, and my head was somewhere else. And I started routing, and I forgot that I already drilled the jack hole, so basically the input jack where you put a cable in the guitar. So the router followed the hole inside the guitar. You cannot imagine the shock. So everything went up to that point like perfection. You could have made like one of those instructionals. Everything was like chef's kiss. And then, so I think I pondered for about an hour, what the fuck to do? And then I was like, I have to call the guy. I cannot just take some extra decision. I said, hey, how are you? Oh, good. How's my guitar?
Well, about that.
Oh, no. What happened? I told him what happened. He was like, you know what? I'm not mad. I won't get mad. Find something, and I'm good with whatever decision you'll take. And maybe I'll add a picture of that guitar. So basically, he told me like he always wanted a Telecaster because he always wanted to study a bit more country and like that, maybe even some bluegrassy guitar and stuff. I was like, okay. So I messed up basically the rim of the guitar. I went with the router too much inside. I can do some kind of an ornament. So there are two ways of repairing one thing. One, if you're an expert, you can make it disappear. So you add something there, and then whatever you do, I don't know, you paint,
do some magic,
paint over or whatever. You paint like the wood fibers. Whatever you do, you make it disappear. I saw two guys like that, magicians.
Yeah.
And I realized that was not an option because I was not there. I was not a repair magician. And then the other option is to make it super obvious, and to make it like, okay, that was meant.
So sprezzatura thingy that the Italians use with fashion.
Exactly.
Nice.
So what I did was to cut I had some aluminum tubing, and because it was hollow, I filled it with some beechwood, I think. I had something that fit perfectly inside. And I got kind of like a half moon, in that place. I polished and everything. But then I looked at the guitar, and you could see that thing was like, dun, dun, dun. It was very obvious. So then I started looking at like country guitars, country fashion, country everything. And I saw like all those, how do you call it? Like rivets and all kind of glittery stuff. I was like, do I have some extra tubing, but smaller? So I did kind of like a contour of this tubing, like aluminum tubing. Man, he ended up loving that guitar. He was like, man, that idea was just... And I was like, whew.
Lucky you. But that's the thing, though. The moment you make a mistake is the moment you learn the most.
It is, but I cannot... I mean, I wanted to...
easy to say afterwards. In the moment, it's like, shit.
Yes, mega shit. And imagine, so this guy who was and still is a good friend of mine paid in full for that bespoke guitar. So it wasn't just a thing I was doing for him. And everything went super great.
Nice.
And and I was like, man, I just messed up in the worst kind of way. Like a rookie mistake, really, rookie mistake. You don't. I mean, you first do the routing, then do all the drilling. That's easy, right? But it is what it is. What can I say? Yeah.
Well, happens to the best, I guess.
I'll look for a picture and I'll upload it.
That would be really cool.
I'll put it in a comment. Yeah, maybe in the first comment. But yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yes, sometimes what helps me if I'm really, really stuck with a really hard problem, I just do something completely different. I turn off the computer, I just go for a walk, do something else, come back to it tomorrow.
Exactly. Sleeping works magic.
And the funny thing is, usually when I do that, I don't have to go to sleep, because while walking the dog or while my kid says something, it triggers this reaction. And it's like, oh boy, that's the solution. Right. That's what I need to do. And then the toughest part is waiting until tomorrow to see if it's actually a good solution when the daylight is out. But
yeah, for me, it kind of, so whenever I'm in a rut, and I cannot find any ways out, I'm doing kind of the same thing. I have to do something completely else, completely different, not completely, sorry, I'm so tired. And usually for me, it helps to sleep on it, and we have this saying in Romanian, "Noaptea e un sfetnic bun," so the night is a good advisor.
Yeah.
And
that's a good one.
Yeah. By the next day, it usually is kind of like it was either super obvious or something else, or a brand new idea that I couldn't find on spot. And then I'm like, that was it,
That's something that's really interesting to me, because what I do sometimes, I like to go back to pen and paper.
Yes, that works.
That helps a lot. And if that also doesn't work, I explain it to somebody, either to a rubber ducky, that's a thing, or I start writing a message to a colleague. Doesn't matter. And what I follow a certain structure when I'm getting really stuck. Mm-hmm. I'm describing the problem I'm trying to solve. Mm-hmm. I'm describing the steps I took so far to solve it, why those didn't work, and what I did further and until I got stuck. Mm-hmm. And just by explaining it to somebody or by writing it down, I have to go through it again in a very structured way, because thinking about how you tell something to somebody and put it into words, spoken or written, is a different way of thinking than thinking about stuff just in your head with yourself. And that also oftentimes solves the problem for me, because you know it, like you work on something for hours or days, and then at some point you ask your colleague, is like, dude, look at this. Like, yes, of course. And that's the same effect that you can achieve by just verbalizing it.
Indeed. I mean, there is... So, I love working alone on stuff where I need to work alone. Yeah. Right?
If I need to get stuff done, I want to...
Exactly. Yeah. Because I also know my own rhythm, and I know my stuff. I know what to do. Sometimes, when it's not all... let's say, automatic work of sorts, it's kind of difficult to think about how to solve something, or being very focused, not to mess it up, and to explain to someone else what to do at the same time. Yeah. And about this bit, I remember, so I was in my first workshop, and there was this guy, actually, he wrote me a couple of days ago to say, hey, I'll be in this... first half of August, I'll be in Nuremberg with work. Can we meet up? And unfortunately, we cannot. But I built him a base that I kept on promising that I will publish the pictures of. And 10 years passed, and I haven't. That's my rhythm. Anyways, so he was in the shop with me, and he was kind of... he was, for a while, he was like an apprentice there, and he said, I also would like to work on my future base, if there's anything I could do, or just be here to see how it's getting built. And even though I have to say that's not the best idea ever, if it's someone who's easy and who's not in your way, you can do it, you know? If you're not a very shy or very introverted person, you can do that. But that day I was working on some other guy's guitar neck. I was building it from scratch, and I was just routing the carbon fiber channels, so like reinforcement channels, even though that kind of wood did not need them, but he wanted them, so whatever.
So he gets it, yeah.
So I was talking with this guy, and I got distracted, not because of him, because of my ADHD of sorts, and I set the routing knife way too deep. I went end to end through the neck, basically.
Whoops.
After that guy chose himself the piece of wood from which the neck would be built. I haven't scrapped the neck. I kept it for me, and I built another guitar around it. It still works. It's actually at the school. I left that guitar at the school. That's kind of the universal guitar I keep there for anyone. But man, it was one of those moments like, what the fuck was I thinking? And all of a sudden this guy says like, I thought that you kind of went too deep, but I didn't want to bug you. I was like, man, this was the perfect timing to bug me. Yeah. Next time, please just say, if you see something this blatant, like just say it,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just me, of course. It wasn't him by any stretch of imagination.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
It's sometimes I get so distracted and so out of it that I'm just
monkey brain.
Yeah, exactly, like scatterbrain, as it used to be called, this kind of thing. But you know what? At the end, it's more or less of an artistic thing. Mm-hmm. And I think you're a bit of an artist too, because you also have this. I mean, we have a podcast to prove it. This going on tangents and going from like wormholes between universes altogether, like last time and like this time we started with like Netherlands, and here's now talking about working with our hands and solving problems, and so this is what we do. And
although I wouldn't characterize myself as artistic. So it's
a bit, I think. Maybe so? A bit. There's something there. I think you also, you're more organized and more mathematical and more engineer in what everyone else thinks of as engineer. But you also have this more scattery, brainy thing,
chaotic thing.
A bit, which is a trademark of artistic people. Not quite like the gray matter driven,
True.
If you know those cartoons like Pinky and the Brain,
yeah.
You're not really the brain. Not full on like, conquer the world. That
would not be my style. I mean, I used to write poetry for some time.
There you go.
I guess that counts as artistic. And I also like writing with a fountain pen.
Oh, nice.
And I'm still...
Have you also studied calligraphy?
Just like on my own a little, but not really.
That's fun, but hard.
Hard. But I like writing with a fountain pen, and my handwriting is actually pretty legible.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think there is some artistic in there. I never thought of myself as creative until I realized, dude, coming up with this solution from, in quotes, nothing, that is creative. Creative does not mean you're good at drawing necessarily.
Yes.
It can be that, yes.
It's also that, yeah.
Yeah. But just because you like numbers and graphs, and I have a very text-based brain and way of working, but creating new solutions from parts that I maybe knew or that I don't know yet, and learn or create, that's also being creative, just applied in a different way, in a unique to myself way, let's say.
No, but I think, you know what, and I have this discussion, this talk with many students, and mostly their parents, in which like, but is my kid talented enough? and because most of them went to university and studied some statistics and stuff, I said, okay, do you know the Pareto rule? Do you know the 80-20 rule? Good. 80% of the people are talented enough to be able to execute whatever they need to execute on whatever medium, be it music, drawing and other kind
whatever
of...
it is,
plastic arts. That's how we call it in Romanian. It's not plastic arts. It's arts altogether. Whatever it is, and even finding a very non-AI solution, right, to a problem, which is not very linear. It's
all over the place,
right, out of the box and spontaneous. And there are the rest, 20%. I would even say half and half, like 10% like incredible, just and 10% just no. Just no, sorry, but...
Do something else,
Yeah, exactly. I would even dare to say that it's more like 95-5, the percentage. So most people have enough skills to be able to express themselves in whatever kind of medium when it comes to all kind of arts. And by the way, to everyone and anyone, if you've ever had this kind of a passion or you wanted to try something, just try it.
Just do it.
Exactly.
Life's too short to forget stuff.
Take what Stoics said, like memento mori. We're all going away someday. Just try it. Just do it. Just go for whatever courses you kept on, postponing for the rest of your lives. Why? I mean...
And there's a chance you are in the pretty good 5%, so...
There is a chance. Maybe you never had the luck, to...
find the right thing.
But I mean, it's also like medium-driven, family-driven.
Of course.
I also told the story. I don't want to rehash the entire story, but my parents kind of... helped me with my music thing up until I said I want to make this my job, and then they flipped 180, like no,
which is insane.
I mean, they just thought it would just be a hobby, a thing on the side, and I will then become an actual engineer, working an actual job in an actual factory. And anyways, it
sounds terrible.
It is. It is terrible. For me, it was. I mean, I actually tried, and I actually had. But this is a story for another day. Episode number 10, and this was season 1 of Speaking Tangents, where we professionally go off topic. Huh? So man. I mean, we did. This is the 10th episode. It's kind of bonkers, right?
Yeah, it is. I'm still processing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Episode 10.
And by the way, it's now it just hit me. It's exactly what I just said. Just do it. We never truly went through, but why should he do it? What should he talk about? If you start splitting hairs, you'll never do anything.
Yeah, don't let perfect be the death of good enough and done.
Exactly. So I'm a perfectionist, and I'll talk more about my perfectionism and how I'm trying to cure it and to get rid of it, because it's not a good trait. It's actually...
I wouldn't say get rid of it, because first you can't and second you shouldn't. But
I mean,
have it under control in a way where it drives you towards excellence, but not towards madness.
Indeed.
And that's the tough thing about it.
And it is. And that's like the perfect ending for this episode. So thank you all for being here, for, bearing with us.
With this nerdy episode.
Yes. I mean, all of them were nerdy. Some of them were ranty or whatever.
But this one was specifically very...
Yeah. So if you love numbers, music, philosophy, or just hearing two dudes talking about everything at once, give us a like. Subscribe, share
with your grandma.
Yeah, exactly, with everyone. There's something for everyone in this one. So thank you for being here, and see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Have a great vacation time, dude.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thanks. See ya.
See you. Ciao.